Welcome back to more Medieval 2 Total War mod with Blue. This is the Third Age Total War mod, and we left off. We had just taken back Khazad-dum from the goblins and defeated a whole bunch of Balrogs. In regards to the way I recorded the last video, I think it went kind of pretty well with the fast forwarding of various parts, and I'm going to do the same again here because, like I said, anyone that's played these games, you know there's a lot of waiting for stuff to get built, waiting for units to travel across the map, just generally a lot of waiting, and it's kind of difficult to commentate over the top of all of that waiting, so I'm generally going to be stopping or slowing down whenever there's anything in particular I wanted to say or any kind of special events. But other than that, yep, we managed to take hold of Moria with some insanely heavy losses, but thankfully a lot of the losses seem to have only been superficial. They weren't actually kills. Do you remember there was only 4 Dragon Slayers left? They must have been trying to take prisoners. At least that's my only expectation. So I do have a fairly fit force here in order to try and take care of those. I can't retrain them yet, so moving back up to here, I'm definitely gonna be trying to build myself yet another army, and I'm gonna send Gimli down there to try and reinforce him because Gimli's a badass and he can do stuff like that. He doesn't have as many leadership qualities as his former, but he's still a very strong and tough unit. We'll just see what the next couple of turns happen to hold before I see if I'm going to fast forward it, because I do have a feeling I'm going to become a target of Mordor within a matter of moments, which is always fun. Will you, won't you? Will you, won't you? There's their capital lost. My lord, the orcs of the Misty Mountains have lost their capital. Only the future can tell what sort of consequences this will have. The chieftain of the orcs is dead, yes. High chieftain of the orcs in the Misty Mountains is dead because I killed him. Anything else? No? They see we've got goblins on the front door. I specifically ignored the gate for Khazad-dum, because if I take the gate, they'll reinforce Khazad-dum. If I take Khazad-dum, well, they've got to get in, and that's easier said than done. As you can see, 6 turns on this, still more waiting, a lot of waiting to be done, even with the construction of this army. So I think I'll skip ahead now until the next battle, or until there happens to be Gimli's army complete, whichever one comes first. There's literally nothing going to happen to these 2 forts here, which is why I won't really be focusing on them at all, and I'll just be leaving them there. So for now it's a matter of securing Moria and defending it, so I'll be back when something particularly interesting happens. Alright.
Growing. His war on this country will come swiftly. It is close now. So close to achieving its goal.
Well, there we have it. as expected, invasion called on Khazad-dum. So the Dark Lord was not happy that I ran down there and kicked everybody out of Moria. So undoubtedly now there's an invasion or an attack pretty much imminent, which I really need to get Gimli down there. Let's run 2 units of Iron Guard and just give them to him. There's Gimli out there. We'll take that because he needs 3 units. They can make themselves another one of those. Let's see if any armies happen to actually turn up on my front doorstep now, because when an invasion's called, the AI seems to be incredibly good at gathering its forces with almost no time at all. And I'm curious who's actually going to be there. So it's also a little bit troublesome. Oh, I've reached the dead marshes. It's quite nice, this game has a lot of cinematics from the movie brought in to really kind of set these mission screens. Usually you don't get anything like this in the original game. Oh, and I've seen the Black Gate as well, apparently. That's enough of that. So that must have been my spy. He's almost in, is he? Yeah, he's there. He's reached his destination. There's a couple of small goblin armies arrived at my front door. Nothing particularly. Khazad-dum reclaimers. I want the other ones, really. Royal barracks. Trying to ignore all the other stuff for now because it's kind of not important. If I can't actually get what I need to maintain Khazad-dum, then everything else is a bit of waste. Still no one's turned up at my front doorstep though, so that's quite... I don't know, I can't really say it's reassuring, it's eerie. Like they're waiting. But then again, it was only a turn or two ago, so who knows what's going to appear. It's quite funny because the Dark Lord's actual position is just up to the top right corner of the map. So you can actually see him.
A most generous vaccine.
Yep. Yep, so we've got Lothlorien in my map. I basically try and bribe out map pieces from people as much as possible, because having access to a map, even though it gets outdated, it's very nice to be able to see where everybody is. Are they there yet?
Aye. Move out.
There's still an incomplete army. It's got 2 units spare. We'll employ those then. Just 2 random units, because he can't wait around anymore. He needs to get his butt all the way over to Moria and try and take that front gate before the rest of everything arrives. Because if I can crush everything in the front gate, then I can attack them and basically 2-prong them and pick them apart while they're in the front. Uh-oh. Okay, so he's coming around the back. That's a little bit annoying. All these tiny little goblin armies. Definitely one of the things that I miss from the old games is like after Shogun, they basically moved onto this whole idea of you couldn't have an army placed unless you had a generals, and it's like a means to try and force full stacked warfare, which means that you couldn't really have scouting parties that weren't just a basic spy, and that's a bit of a pain in the backside. But I think I'm actually going to skip ahead, and we will see. Well, we will see back when the good stuff starts to get going. So let's wait for this turn to finish. Nothing spectacular is going to happen, I doubt. Anything at all? Oh, the One Ring's in Goblin Town. That's so close. But do I give up Khazad-dum in search of the One Ring in Goblin Town? Because I could move that army up and try and take the ring, but at the same time it would cost me... It would definitely cost me Khazad-dum, because they would just take that, because it would be empty. I don't know, but I'm going to skip ahead until the next battle or important event, so I'll see you there. Alright, so the Rad lost their capital somehow. Don't even have a clue what happened there. But more importantly, we have a whole bunch of random wild men. And I say a whole bunch, I mean like hundreds of wild men and random goblins. And they've built an insane amount of siege equipment, considering there's only one door they have to break down to get in. What am I looking for? Where's Gimli? Oh my god, Gimli. Get your backside down here. ASAP. I needed him there like a whole bunch of turns ago. Who's this? Ah, Keely. He looks a bit older than in the videos. No, I'm sure they have. So I'm expecting some fighting to be happening. Oh, that Goblin Town is full. One of my diplomats must have just made it through into Goblin Town. And yeah, no surprise there. They've got the One Ring sitting over there, so they're going to be holding on to that like it's nothing, like crazy. Oh. No, that's too loud. So Arnor is back together. That's not really doesn't mean anything to me, only that eventually if I want to push my land out into this kind of area, I'm going to have harder resistance, because I don't know, I'm not going to be the friendliest of dwarves here. I'm going to pick as many fights as I can, I think, and just see what we can do. Of course, all depends on like what the enemy does, because with the Total War it's not so linear and written like the actual movies. Oh, anything could happen. So Barling defended against Wildmen, that probably didn't happen, but that's what makes it so fun. So we'll see what happens here. This is going to be one big fight. So the drums in the deep. At least these drums are my drums, and oh, that isn't nice. They have me pincered. That is not nice. Where is the square that I have to protect? It's here. Okay, and that is accessible by what route? That one. Alright, so let's put these out here. Can I put these down here? Come on. So we'll do that, deploy stakes. Do that. Deploy stakes. It's kind of a cheesy setup. I kind of... Right, so they're all going to funnel into here. I'll put those there. Put those there. Okay. And deploy stakes. So there's stakes everywhere, pretty much. Set that to guard. No. Right, so that's there. We want one unit over here. So they will be there, on guard. And another unit. On guard, the less taken path. Yep, so they can sit in there. And set them to guard as well. And we'll just gather those up and group them up there. No, we don't want to do that, okay. Alright, so those are positioned there. We will want one of those there. Let's put all of these into a shield wall. And have them sat here. Have that sat there. Bring him up here. I can't start off out there, can I? I should be able to. Yeah. They'll be the first line of defense from there because I don't really want those sitting there. These two catapults are going to have to come up. I don't know what I'm going to do with these two catapults. They're really, really in the way. One catapult facing that direction, and we'll put the other one, doesn't really matter. Come on. They could just sit there like that because I am a little bit pressed for space. Right, so let's start this battle and we will organise from here. We'll put these, now that they've dropped that, like that. Can actually move those to properly cover the doorways. Oh my god, I don't want that. Whatever, they can double up, I suppose.
Cuss! The enemy are battering down our gates.
Right, let's put that in there. Now focus on the other side. Let's put the general over here a minute, out of the way. We still have... Oh, they've broken through the gate. So I am now running out of time.
The walls are no longer ours. The enemy have taken them.
Alright. Sorry about the sniffling as well. I seem to have contracted a cold. And my nose has been a bit of a pain, so I'll try and edit that sniffling out as best I can wherever possible. Because if it's even half as annoying for you lot as it is for me, then it's going to be a real pain in the ass. What are they shooting at? They're shooting over the cliff. Oh, the first charge is on its way. Cavalry charge? That's going to end badly. That's the reason why I didn't just rush out. I see that they're sitting like at the end of the wall, but it's a bit of a pain. I can't just bum rush out and try hitting those cavalry. One of these sit up that way. And then to set up like that. These catapults are pretty useless when I'm being like hit like this. Oh my goodness. There are so many troops in that little column. Hot gates in them so bad. The wild men are no match for my dwarven wall of iron. Oh my god. I still have this side protected as well. I'm surprised they haven't gone in. I expect they're probably bugged out. They probably didn't buy any siege equipment. This army that's come through here probably has all of the siege equipment. And yeah, it's probably... Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, I'm taking some decent casualties. Like I said, these pikemen are incredibly tough. So defeat seems almost certain. Not if that other side doesn't get involved. Is that their entire army? That's their entire army in that little hole. If they were coming from the other side... Oh my god, that's loud. I would have basically been able to just completely bomb them. This is pretty crazy. I wish I could actually try and see what the other army was doing, because whatever is stopping them from coming in, it's a bit of a godsend at the moment. I take the back line off of this lot and then send them in, because it looks like that line is not going to be... And we'll send Barlin in as well. But hopefully he won't run off too far. We'll take the guard mode off because I need to start pushing back now that they're all funneled in. Absolutely pelting them with arrows. Oh well, crossbow bolts that happen to be being shot like arrows. It's kind of pretty dang random. This is a bit of a clustery mess. This would have been much easier if the fight was a little bit different. I hate defending from this side. I've had to do it once before and it's horrible. I have to watch the fighting from this far out because there's about 4,000 models down there fighting. I have to admit, I love the Lord of the Rings tabletop game, the miniatures game, but there's no way without a game like this that you can really have this kind of epic scale of combat, which is why I love Total War. Right, so it's now clear to me that the other army is not going to be making an appearance in this. So I think I'm quite free to just throw all of my troops into this fight. We can see that dwarven push. If the camera will go down. It's not going to go down now. Come on, camera. Cooperate. There we go. Is he ready to... Yeah, you can do it again. What a grind. What an epic grind. I might fast forward this up a little bit. Oh, we're getting towards the end of this by the looks of it. A massive dwarven killing machine. I've got to admit, I love the way... It's not probably the most interesting of videos to really watch because it's such a confined, tight space, and they happen to go in the back section, which is even more tight and confined than it would usually be. So there's not much tactics involved. I mean, you merely force them into being blocked up here, and it's just a matter of grinding on each other until one side goes down, and you can't deny that dwarven steel. They are kicking some major ass. But then again, this isn't really a threatening force. It's more I'd say, a throwaway of trash units, because these appear to be like just your basic tier 1 units, whereas I've got like a full tier 2 army here. But it's doing the job at like really grinding down my troops. It's going to be quite a pain in the backside, since I can't regenerate them. I can't bring them back. So whatever they kill here is no real loss to them, but it makes defending in the future much more difficult than it needed to be. Yeah, send them down there to kill those. The good thing about being dwarfs is they're very good at just fighting. You watch now, this side will probably step in and I'll be all hell break loose. I prefer to defend this area because if you know they're coming from this section, the only cut around is to the right over here. And you basically stick one kind of tough shield wally unit here to try and hold them off as long as possible, and it will usually force them all to come through the front. And with archers and catapults set up on this hill, and walls and such to slow them down the bottom, it basically makes like a no man's land where they have to basically avoid my catapults, and that's pretty awesome. But they decided to be a pain in the backside and attack from the rear. Let's get a close up of all that chaos. You can see those axemen just hacking away. Chomp, 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 chomp. Random low tier bowmen die. Yeah. They are well and truly done for. I still don't understand what this unit is out here. There's a unit outside. I just can't see. I imagine it's some form of cavalry or something that they've sent around, but it doesn't really matter much.
The enemy general. That will teach the cowardly dog to tuck tail and run.
If you call hitting him with an axe capturing him, we did that. He just took someone's head off. Now that their morale is broken, they don't really have anywhere to run. They're pretty much just standing there waiting to die. just in case that whatever unit decides to try and come through there. I highly doubt they will. I might actually have to end up fast forwarding the end of this fight because I think that other army is pretty much just bugged out sitting and watching on the sidelines. Purely because it didn't bring siege equipment. Forward, advance, advance, forward, forward, forward. I think it's safe to say that AI is freaking out. Oh my god, there's a guy down there breakdancing. Oh no, he's gone now. How did they get in? What?
Look how our cowardly foe run.
How are they gonna get down? How are they gonna get down? Look at all those dead bodies. Oh my goodness. What a massacre. Oh, there's still people here apparently. Well, there we have that. A win. Not a very good battle, to be honest, because the AI bugged out really bad. But we'll take a win where we can get them. That was only the first of assaults that I'm guessing, because now that they have actually launched an invasion on Khazad-dum, there will be plenty more where that came from. And yeah, so that will do that for this episode. If you've got any ideas, suggestions, or things you think would be good, a way of recording these that would be good, or a game in particular that might be good to be covered, or a mod perhaps, or anything like that, feel free to leave a comment or let me know. And if you liked it, feel free to give the thumbs up. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one, hopefully. I'm hoping the next one will be a bit more less waiting and less grindery, a little bit more tactics involved, a little bit more I don't know, just a little bit more mass to the whole thing, because that one was a little bit dull. But then this is Total War. Not every battle is a spectacular battle. That one just happened to be a massive meat grinder that was kind of laggy, because there was probably about 8,000 units on the map, even though only 4,000 of them were fighting, because the other army just seemed to bug out. But we have a long way to go, so if you've got any suggestions, just let me know, and I'll see you in the next one. So bye.
Please, my lord, reconsider.
That's pretty